Hi guys, I am here today to share with you my 17-week pregnancy vlog. I didn't get a chance to do one last week because I had a terrible migraine for 4 days. It went on and on. I actually still have some remnants of the headache, although it's not a migraine for sure. It's sort of just become more of a tension headache. So because of that, I wasn't really able to be as functional as I would have liked to have been. So it's not something I plan on doing in the future. I definitely want to do one for you every week, but I just want to hit you up with some of these questions and let you know what's been changing. So I have finally gained 1 pound. The first question is about weight gain. So I hadn't gained any weight up until this point, but I did gain 1 pound when I went into my appointment last week. So that's pretty good and on par for what I'm sort of hoping to gain. I'm going to try to gain less than 20 pounds if possible, but my doctor wants me somewhere between 20 and 25, which is fine. The less I can gain, the better, provided that the baby's growing and everything's going smoothly. So my method is to choose healthy foods whenever possible. If I'm craving something bad for me, I'll try to have something that is sort of a healthier version of it. Like I like to have a Greek yogurt, and then I'll put agave nectar on it with some walnuts and this like really yummy flax cereal. And I'll sort of like mix it all together and eat that if I'm having a sweet craving. And usually I just like feel much better when I eat healthier foods too. And then I also started doing I started exercising more now that my energy's back a little bit. So I'm doing the stationary bike that my husband purchased for me when I was pregnant last time. I didn't use it really at all last time because it was very uncomfortable. But this time it's a little bit easier because he has bought me a square seat instead of those like elongated seats that are just, that's not going to happen when you're pregnant. I'm just telling you right now. If you are doing it, I give you mad props. Have I purchased any maternity clothes? I am wearing pretty much, actually I'm wearing exclusively maternity clothes today. I have grown quite a bit in these 2 weeks, and I have purchased some things. So I will do a haul on that either today or tomorrow and share those items with you, but definitely wearing like all maternity pants. I have a couple of pairs of pants and a skirt that are not maternity that still fit, but you know, they're just not that comfortable. Everything's stretching, so you want to be as comfortable as possible. I don't have any stretch marks yet. In my first pregnancy, I did get a few on my hip, and I'm hoping that I don't get any more. So I'm being a lot more conscious about where I apply my stretch mark creams and butters to keep everything hydrated. The last time I just put it on my belly, and I feel like that might have been a mistake since I didn't put any on my hips. So now I'm making sure that I do that. Sleep. Well, I haven't been sleeping too well, to be honest, and I think it's finally starting to like affect my skin, and I'm starting to look a little worn down, but I am trying to get as much rest as possible, and just because everything's growing and stretching, and because I had that long bout of horrible migraine headaches, it was very hard for me to sleep, so I'm hoping to catch up with my rest this week. The best moment of the week was booking my 3D ultrasound appointment. I'm very excited to see the baby and see, you know, make sure that there are 2 arms and 2 legs, and, you know, just kind of put all those fears aside. You know, you just want to know that everything's all right. So fingers crossed everything will be. So that was a very exciting moment. Do I miss anything? Well, I'd like to have a nice summer cocktail or a fresh, crisp glass of champagne with a few raspberries thrown in, but totally worth it to not have it. It's completely fine, but I definitely miss it sometimes. I have been having more movement. So the movement has been surprising because it's not consistent, and there aren't certain times when the baby moves, specifically because it's still a little bit early. So every time I get like the flop, like the full turnaround, it's such a surprise, and it's a wonderful feeling. It's the best part about being pregnant, and I think until you get that constant movement, it doesn't feel real. Like even though I'm getting bigger and bigger, I'll have days where I just don't believe that I'm pregnant still. Like it's really hard to believe that until you start like building a nursery, and I don't know, it's just hard. Your appointments are further apart in the beginning, so I still have a hard time believing that I'm pregnant. My cravings have been pretty okay. I've been craving really good tomatoes, so I'm excited to get to go to Greece and get some yummy tomatoes soon. So just like really good tomatoes. I love heirloom tomatoes, so I went to the farmer's market and grabbed a few heirloom tomatoes yesterday, some beautiful yellow ones. They were delicious. And I've also still craving lots and lots of ice water. I always have my huge tumbler, though it's so hot in here, my ice has melted. Take a quick sip there. I'm getting a little parched. So I have to have tons and tons of water. And as far as other foods, what else have I been craving? A lot of Greek yogurt, and that's pretty much it. I don't really want a lot of meat. I love corn right now, but I wouldn't say I'm like craving it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for food. I don't know the gender yet, but we are hoping to find out at our 3D ultrasound. And I don't have any labor signs, thank goodness. And my symptoms are the pulling and stretching. I do have the round ligament pain for those of you that have been pregnant before. It's sort of a low, quite intense pain sometimes. Sometimes it can make you like shout out if you get quite the twinge. So I have been getting the round ligament pain, not as bad as I was. By the time I was 5 months pregnant, in my first pregnancy, I actually had a separation of the abdominal muscles. I can't remember what that's called, but I had 2 separations. That was very painful, and I actually saw a physical therapist for that. So I don't have that type of pain where it's constant pain anytime I get up or get down. It's just the occasional surprising twinge. I do have some back pain and some tension headaches and the migraines, which are obviously a result of the pregnancy. So I've had quite a few symptoms, I think, this week. So I'm looking forward to this coming week being less dramatic. My belly button is in still, but it is starting to sort of get larger. Before I had my first child, I had a sort of walled belly button where you definitely see the flesh of the belly button right behind. It didn't go in at all. And I liked that about my belly button. And once I had the baby and everything sort of went back as much as it was going to go back, I had a big hole where my belly button was. So now I sort of have that definitely indented belly button, which because I never had it, I don't really like it. And now I'm noticing that it's getting bigger this time. So it's just one of those things you've got to live with. My wedding ring is on, but my engagement ring is off because I woke up in the middle of the night a week or so ago, and a week and a half ago, and my hand had swollen because I had had a bit too much sodium, I suspect. So I had had some salt and vinegar chips. So because of that, I had to take off my ring in the middle of the night, and I just haven't put it back on, though it does fit because I haven't stayed puffy. It's just because I went overboard and had too much salt that day. My mood swings have been pretty tame. I haven't had much, like, you know, I haven't had a lot of anger or any sort of outbursts. I do get very overwhelmed having a 2.5-year-old and sort of being very tired. And of course, when I had the migraines, it was really tough. So definitely feeling overwhelmed. And then also just very mushy. So I definitely get choked up every time there's like something emotional happening in my life. If I'm telling a story or hearing a story from someone, I definitely get more emotional. So, so that's been some changes. What am I looking forward to? Honestly, I'm really looking forward to the 3D ultrasound. I'm excited to see the baby and see that, you know, see 2 arms and 2 legs and know that everything's okay, because the only ultrasound I've had so far, which is a stark contrast to my first pregnancy because I got scans every time I went to my doctor's appointment when I was in New York, which is kind of how things work in New York. Now I've only had 1 scan, and excluding the first scans that you kind of get. And it's just, you don't see anything. You don't know if the baby's okay. They're very blurry. You know, I don't know. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the last thing is a bump shot. So here is the bump shot. It's quite big. Definitely has grown for sure. And I'm going to show you my cute shoes because they're really cute. Ooh. So I just want to thank you all for joining me on my pregnancy vlog today. I hope you have enjoyed hearing about what sort of symptoms I've been going through and what changes you've been going through. If you happen to be recording your own pregnancy vlogs right now, be sure to send them my way. You can send me a message or contact me through Facebook or Twitter. I'd love to see what you are up to as well. And I hope you guys are having a really great summer, and I'll see you guys all again soon in the next video. Okay, bye for now.